So today we're going to do a mod author interview with Brandon3055 and the GreatOrator, okay, of Draconic Evolution. My question to Shadow Snore is, are they ready to come up here? Okay. Uh-oh, outdated picture. Yes, it is an outdated picture. Yes, it is an outdated picture. Did you do my closing thing at the bottom? There it is. Okay. I think you did. All right. So are you guys ready to talk to these two and say hi to the people that made the big ball? Are you guys ready to talk to the big ball people? Here we go. Let's bring Brandon up first. Yes. You know what? We're too early. We can't do it right now. We have to stop and wait for 2 minutes. We got to start this. Oh, we got to be on time. What's up, Jay? Is great. How you doing, man? You got to start on time. All right? Woot! It's interview time. Hype, 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 interview time. How do I claim land? Why are you claiming land? Seriously. Follow me, please. Follow, no, just do it. Look at her, just do it. Okay. Big ball. In my world, too. You want to play with their big balls in your world, too? Is that what you want to do? Oh, time goes so slow when you're waiting for it to go by. Just do what? Do it. All right, here, I'll pull them up here. Okay. Oh, I got to stop the music, too. They're probably going like, when are we going to get pulled up?
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Welcome, gentlemen. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good.
Good to hear.
Doing real good myself.
All right, and so go ahead and introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Brandon3055. I'm the creator of Draconic Evolution.
And I am GreatOrator. I am moral support, texture, and PR for Draconic Evolution.
Well, welcome, you guys. Great to have you both here. Of course, I am Chaoschunk. If you guys don't know who I am, you're crazy. Today's is, of course, an interview with these two about the great and awesome mod known as Draconic Evolution. So I like just jumping straight into things here and just asking, first off, what is your favorite type of pie? Brandon, go!
That's a good question. I don't really have a favorite pie, but anything with meat in it's good. Because I'm not a real big pie person, but I like meat pies.
Meat pies, okay.
And I'll be easy. The good old-fashioned Dutch apple pie.
Dutch apple pie. Yes, sirree, Bob. Love me some apple pie, man. I'm right there with you. Me, I'm an all pie kind of guy myself. I just love pie, period. So, yeah. All right, so what I want to start with after the pie question is, could you please tell me a little bit about yourselves? And GreatOrator, go ahead and start, and let's just hear about, you know, your history and where you're from, and just kind of get into everything about yourself.
Well, to be honest, I'm just general family man. Love my family, my wife, my kids. Been playing games since probably before most of the viewers were even a thought.
Okay.
I've been doing it for a very long time.
Right. I think you and I are about the same age, right? I'm in my 40s. I'm 45.
Yeah. So yeah, we're right about the same area.
Right. All right. And where are you from, and all that fun stuff?
I am from Arizona. Been here my whole life. I born here, live here, and I will die here because there is no other place I would rather live than here.
Hey, you know, I feel the same way about Oregon, but I think my wife is going to make me move to the southeast or something. Yeah. Anyway, I do believe that my artist guy, Solid State, lives in Arizona, if I remember correctly.
Well, then he made an excellent choice to live here.
That's what I understand. And Brandon, you have a distinct accent about you. Let's hear a little bit about you. What do you do, and why do you do it, and where are you from, and all that fun stuff.
Me, I'm from down below most of you guys. Not a lot to say about myself. I like to build things, and I like programming, and I'm 20 years old, so a lot younger than both of you guys.
All right, and so where are you from, though? What country are you from?
Tasmania, which is a part of Australia, I guess, technically.
So okay. Well, let's ask about that. Is Tasmania actually Australia? Can you say you're from Australia, or is it its own country?
Well, it's a state Australia, so yeah, technically Australia. Yep.
Okay, so it's a state of Australia. Gotcha. Okay, a state of confusion then, correct? Kind of like myself.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Gotcha. Okay. And so we know what part of the world you guys live in. So what do you guys like to do outside of computers and gaming? Brandon, what do you like to do outside of computers and gaming?
My main hobbies at the moment are building and flying remote control aircraft, such as planes and multi-rotors.
Okay, and GreatOrator, what do you like to do outside of computers and gaming?
Is there something outside of computers and gaming?
I do believe there's actually a world out there. I've seen it a couple times on my way to the computer store.
Well, to be honest, yeah. I mean, when I can get dragged away from the computer, I do like model railroading, RC cars, play paintball. Matter of fact, today we actually went to enjoy the free comic book day, so that me and the family went and got just a grip of comic books.
Nice! Free comic books? Where do I go? Sign me up, man. What's that all about?
That's a benefit of living here in Arizona. All the comic book stores here, one Saturday every year, about this time of year, they do a thing where you get comic books. And they even had some of the really good ones on sale on top of it. So, yeah, we left with quite a few.
Nice. That's awesome. So, I think that GreatOrator, you and I kind of have the pretty much the same. I loved RC cars growing up. I just haven't had time to get back into them. I made the Blackfoot RC car, you know, one of the first big 4x4 trucks. Do you remember that one?
That was actually my first RC truck as well, and yes. I hand-painted the body on it because it was a hard plastic, didn't like the color, and at the time I was into California raisins, so I painted the body to look like that.
Nice! Awesome! And then I did the Porsche 959, the four-wheel drive Paris to Dakar Porsche winner. I did that one. I don't know if you know what that one. It's from Tamiya also. Was my sex one.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I did the RC10.
The RC10. Oh yes, yes. That is a nice. That's a very well known car back in the day when we were coming up. So Brandon, what type of helicopters and stuff, and how do you keep from cutting your own head off with your helicopter?
Stay away from the spinning parts.
Stay away from the spinning parts. I do believe that was a news story out of New York where they came to a park and they found a man that was missing the top part from his neck up or whatever because of a helicopter. That's gross.
Ouch.
Yeah, I think that would hurt. That would definitely hurt. All right, so we've talked about what you do outside of computers, and I think you guys pretty much have the same kind of interest and stuff, and that is absolutely awesome. So space, I see here that Brandon typed space engineers in here also. What is that the games you like to play?
That's just one of the. I don't play a lot of games besides Minecraft. That's just one other game that I really enjoy.
Sure. All right, so we're going to talk. I believe that this is Brandon's the one that came up with Draconic Evolution. What is it that made you come up with this mod?
That's a good question. Well, I've always been interested in mods since I discovered them not long after I discovered Minecraft. I used to play with them a lot, but the programming side of things, I was also always a bit scared of programming, and through playing a lot of different mod packs, I eventually learned a little bit of lure from messing with computer craft. And when GreatOrator started on the Tolkien Craft project, I was originally helping out with that as a builder. But I'm not the best at building cool things like Go is, so I went to look for another way to help, and I came up with a mod called Tolkien Add-on, which just added a few little bits and pieces to help out with the pack, And eventually, as I got better and better and added more things, that evolved into Draconic Evolution.
How do you take a Tolkien add-on and morph it in Draconic Evolution? I'm not making the link. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll take on that one.
Well,
Go ahead. Either one of you.
You want to do it, Brandon?
go ahead.
So, as it got to the point where the mod was getting larger and larger, and we were talking about just branching it off to a public release, quite honestly, the Draconic part is because I like dragons, and, you know, quite honestly, the mod did evolve from what he started to something new, so it was kind of a combination of the two things that we liked.
Awesome. Okay. So what is it? I mean, who came up with the energy storage? I mean, it's almost a perfect fit for a lot of these high-end mod packs that have it's like a perfect fit for big reactors. You know, who came up with that? The ball to it's like the coolest thing ever. Who came up with that?
That was me. Yeah, so basically, one thing that I've always wanted when playing all these different mod packs is more energy storage. Nothing has enough energy storage, in my opinion.
Right, I concur.
So
yeah.
I wanted to build something cool that holds a buttload of energy, and the ball idea was inspired by this mod that used to exist a while back called Zycraft, that had these cool-looking energy nodes in it. A lot different from that, but yeah. If anybody's ever heard of that mod, you may have an idea what I'm talking about.
Yes, and one of the things that we like to do, I'm a member of the Build Guild, and so is Soren. And Soren, we love to harass Soren on almost a daily basis as to when is Zycraft going to update. So, yeah, we know about that around here. All right, and so, what did you know that you were going to need to make the ore super rare, and what I'm trying to get at is that a lot of people like to rush things. And was your idea always to make the mod pack end game? Was that something that was always in y'all's mind, or is that just how it turned out?
Yeah, I just really like powerful things. I wanted everything to be overpowered and crazy, but at the same time, I wanted to be somewhat balanced if I could, and make everything really hard to get.
So what is the weakness? Because I ran into a problem yesterday with the Draconic armor. Is there a weakness to the Draconic armor against a certain type of mod or a certain type of attack or anything like that?
The only time I found the Draconic armor fails is if you put... so the Draconic armor blocks all damage, whether it's armor bypassing or not. But the only time it seems to fail is if you put last stand on it and you run out of XP. It should still protect you, but for some reason that makes you die, basically.
Okay, so I have last stand on mine, okay, and it knocks me down to half a heart in one hit from the Endermen that are in the end, and also the things that look like blazes in the end. I'll walk up and I'll try to hit one, it'll hit me, and it'll go through all my absorption hearts, it'll go through all my Tinker's Construct hearts, it'll go all the way through the armor and knock me down to half a heart.
That's interesting, because theoretically it should drain the entire energy buffer of the armor before it does any damage to you, so I suggest trying removing the last stand enchant.
Alright, I will do so. And by the way, this is not supposed to be a bug report interview at all, and I'm sorry for bringing that up. Okay, so
no problem.
What sort of mods do you suggest be used in conjunction with Draconic Evolution?
I'd say pretty much any sort of RF mods, because although it has a lot of storage, at the moment it doesn't actually have any power generation. So it's ideally you want to have something that can generate a lot of power, like big reactors and anything that uses that power. So it's based around RF mods, but it fits in a lot of different packs.
And okay, so as far as the ball itself and the energy storage itself, which is by far one of the coolest things with it, how did you come about designing the way to get energy in and energy out of the ball? Was it stemming from the fact that you didn't want things hooking directly into the ball and thus masking it, or what was it that that made you want to go that route?
Well, obviously it wouldn't look so good if you just had pipes and conduits connected to it, so I wanted some form of wireless energy transfer. And at the time, I was just learning how to create particles, and I was having a lot of fun with different particles, so I wanted something that involved particles. Although, thinking about it now, I might want to adjust that, because if you have, say, 10 different pylons attached to it, transferring at max flow rate, it kind of gets a bit laggy.
Right.
But yeah, that's basically where it came from.
Right, okay. And we were talking earlier today when I showed you the thing, is there plans to be able to move those pylons farther away from the ball when it scales up to tier 6?
You can't actually move them further away as it scales up, although, wait, actually, I think I might have actually changed that. You might be able to move them slightly further away now as you scale it up, but you can also move them as far below or above the core as you can to the sides, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Complete sense. Okay, so, where are we at? Is GreatOrator, do you have, let's get your top 3 most favorite mods to use with the Draconic Evolution.
I like using any of the thermal expansion stuff. I'm still an old school Railcraft player. I love the trains. And pretty much anything that can mine large areas, because I want to make sure I get as much of the Draconium as I can, and I don't like mining by hand.
What about the staff, though? That thing can mine like crazy, right?
You got to get the Draconium to get to the staff.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So, as far as that's concerned, I just had a question. Of course, it just completely blew right out of my mind. Railcraft. You mentioned Railcraft. I see Railcraft as a reason. What do you mainly use Railcraft for when you're using Railcraft? What is the purpose of you using it?
I don't have a singular purpose, actually. I like the aesthetics. There's flight. You've got high speed running with armor, but there's just something about setting up a rail line that goes base to base that, a transport system, old school transport system.
Okay, so you would rather, hold on. Okay, so you would rather, instead of teleporting around like I do, I teleport to spawn and I teleport over here. You would rather hop in a train and go from point A to point B, correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's times where popping around in a hurry is cool, but come on. Tell me you don't like the idea of sitting in the train and going through all the terrain and watching things just fly by as you travel off.
Yes, I do enjoy doing that 100%, and I totally agree. Okay, so let's move on to what are some other, and this can be for both of you, and I'll twist the question for both of you. What are some other mod packs or mods that you guys have created, and can you give us a brief synopsis of each? And if you haven't created a mod pack, maybe some you've contributed in designing or so on and so forth. So Brandon, if you want to start with that, go ahead.
Well, the first one would be Tolkien Tweaks. That is a mod that I created for the Tolkiencraft mod pack, because originally Draconic Evolution, previously known as Tolkien Add-on, was meant to take that role, but there's still some things we wanted to add to the pack that don't quite fit in Draconic Evolution, so I made Tolkien Tweaks for that. There's a few others. Town Builder, which is also in Draconic Evolution. That is a pretty basic mod that allows you to just set up plots that players can buy, and what that lets you do is set up a pre-built structure, and then the player can buy that structure and it will build it right in front of them.
Oh, that's cool. So does it come with stuff in it, like machines and stuff, or is it just the structure?
Well, you set up the structure you want to create, and you create a schematic of it, similar to the way you would with World Edit, and it will copy everything in that structure.
Okay. So, So what does Tolkien Tweaks do exactly? What are some of the features of Tolkien Tweaks?
Well, Tolkien Tweaks...
So I'll let GreatOrator explain that.
Yeah, okay, go.
Yeah, that's actually... Tolkien Tweaks, in part, is where Town Builder came from. It has the ability to buy houses, which is something I wanted. There's some items that are specific to quest lines within the mod pack that it belongs in. There's just, you know, little bits here or there. He even made me a smoker from Railcraft that I can skin to any block instead of the dark gray smoker square. So it literally is those onesie-twosie blocks that I don't want to have to get an entire mod downloaded just for 1 or 2 blocks. All I have to do is just give a message out to Brandon, and in the midst of his busy life, if he gets time, he puts it in there for me.
That's awesome. So, GreatOrator, why don't you talk a little bit more about Tolkiencraft? This sounds like it's something that's kind of a calling for you and stuff. You mentioned it several times. Tell us about Tolkiencraft, what exactly it does, what version of Minecraft it's for, and so on and so forth.
Just the short version is Tolkiencraft is a mod pack for Minecraft at 1.7.10. Yes, it is something that's more or less a love, because Lord of the Rings and Tolkien in general has always been my favorite story of all time. And it is a project of love and labor that I've been working on for well over a year now, but it's basically turning Minecraft into an MMO, but still leaving the feel of modded Minecraft.
I will definitely have to check it out. Is it something that how long would it normally take to play it? Is there like a goal? Do you have to go to go and kill Sauron, or do you have to do do you have to do any of that, or is there a goal in it, or is it just build?
Well, it's got builds, but it uses the quest capability from 2 mods, Custom NPCs and HQM. It does have a quest line with a beginning and end. The people that I've seen play it, you're looking at, if you want to sit down solid, you could probably do it in probably 6 or 7 hours, but most people, it takes longer than that, because there's points where I have done what I can to kind of force people to go off and actually play the game rather than focus on the quests. And, you know, right now the big project that I've been working on with another group is trying to recreate all the key locations in Middle-earth.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. How far are you on that?
We just had our first content pack release. So just to kind of get a little summary of that is, you know, like when you have, say, some of these other role-playing games, the manufacturers will come out with downloads that you can add to.
Uh-huh.
I'm effectively doing the same thing, but with Minecraft, and just released Minas Tirith and Isengard as downloadable content to add to the mod pack.
I am going to go play this just to see how you guys built that. That has got to be incredible to walk around in.
I'd like to think so. I mean, the Isengard was built by the build team, LolNet. They're the ones that are doing a lot of the big builds. Minas Tirith was mine. We actually have total probably 12 major locations that we're working on, and many very close to release.
So, do you want to tell us what some of those are, or are we going to keep that top secret?
No, we've got, well, you can see pictures of progress on Facebook and Twitter, but right now we've got Weathertop. I gotta think about this in my head for a second. We got Weathertop, Helm's Deep. I just finished putting in and working on Minas Morgul and Barad-dûr. We have Buckleberry is being worked on. We have Beorn's Hall has been put in and is being worked on and getting more. The Argonath with Amon Hen. There's 1 or 2 I'm missing off the top of my head, but you can tell we've got a lot that we're...
yeah.
Erebor, Dale, and Esgaroth, or Lake Town. Those have been put in, and we're kind of finalizing those builds. Edoras, or the Kingdom of Rohan. I'm now currently working on Shelob's Lair, that everybody's familiar with Lord of the Rings. And then I'll be working on Cirith Ungol,
Okay, so, and what launcher is this on?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What launcher is this on?
This is on Feed the Beast, or FTB.
FTB, awesome, nice, nice. So this is an FTB pack, is what you're saying?
Yes, it is.
Awesome, congratulations on that. That is kick-ass.
Thank you.
All right, so is there any other mod packs that you suggest that people play that have Draconic Evolution, or necessarily just that a mod pack that you would like to recommend that people play?
Well, I know off the top of my head, Infinity, which is also an FTB pack, has Draconic Evolution in it. I believe Trident, which is one of the new mod packs that FTB has created, has Draconic Evolution. And those are the top two that just came out that have it. I know from being on the third-party pack team, there's a handful more that'll probably have it in there.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Let's see here. And okay, so Brandon, where were you when you discovered Minecraft, and what led you to Minecraft?
Would you like me to go over the other mods I've made first?
Oh, sure, go ahead. I didn't know if we were done, but please, yes, go ahead over the other mods, definitely.
So there are a couple others that are in development and aren't public yet. These are some mods I'm making for LolNet, which GreatOrator mentioned, and LolNet is basically my all-time favorite Minecraft server, and I'm currently helping them out with a couple of mods for some of their servers. The one I'm currently working on is called LolNet PvP, and what that does is allow you to set up PvP servers, similar to how some plugins work, but there just weren't any out there that did exactly what we needed. So I'm creating a PvP mod that will manage the PvP arenas for Trident, which doesn't actually have Draconic Evolution in it, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, that was my mistake then.
It was your mistake that it's not in
a couple
there?
others I'm making. Another little tiny one that I made for their Sky Factory server is Skyblock Starter. That just allows players to create a new tree, basically, because Sky Factory isn't very good with multiplayer. It doesn't have anything to let you start a new island.
Right.
The servers. Another one is called Radiology. That is more for a wasteland radioactive planet type world. It adds radiation mechanics to the game, so certain mobs and blocks give off radiation which affect the player in negative ways.
Like, is it more than just poisoning the player, or does it do other things like cause boils on their skin?
These mods I'm actually working on are all server side, which is a unique thing because most of the mods are client and server side, but these are designed so that you can run them on the server. So say if you're running a pack like Infinity, and you want to add one of these mods, you can add it without having to actually have it in the mod pack. You can just have it server side. And Radiology actually, all its effects are potion based because it has to be vanilla effects. But as you're exposed to radiation, you have an internal radiation count which goes up, and that affects a sickness level. So as you're exposed to radiation, depending on how many rads you're exposed to, the effects get worse over time, and it takes a while to go away.
And is there anything that you can build or make, like a potion or something, that will help subside the radiation effects, or is it just time that helps you get rid of it?
Not yet, but there will be.
Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and go over the other question that I asked is, where were you when you discovered Minecraft, and how did you discover Minecraft?
That was back in Minecraft 1.8 beta, not the current 1.8. I was introduced to it by my brother who used to play it at school, and I instantly fell in love with it and played it non-stop for about 3 months. And after that, it kind of got a bit boring, so I stopped playing it for a while. And then I discovered mods. I was watching a lot of videos, and I would see all these random cool things in all these Minecraft videos. I was like, wait, what's that? I'd look up recipes, and I couldn't figure out why none of them would work, because this was like one of the first games I started playing, so I didn't know anything about game modding at the time. And after a while, I actually discovered mods, and then I fell in love with it all over again.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of did the same thing. I did my evolution of Minecraft. Of course, I found it because I got tired of playing World of Warcraft and I was getting sick of World of Tanks, and I, been hearing the musings of this game called Minecraft, and creepers and stuff, and I'm going, what is this? So I looked into it and started it, and I played it for, probably 2 months, and then started casting it and stuff like that. So I'm right there with you. So GreatOrator, where were you when you discovered Minecraft, and what was it? How did you discover it, and how did that come about?
Well, apparently brothers are the ones that seem to be the trigger, because mine was the one that introduced me back in 1.2.5.
Okay.
And I actually lasted much longer than most people in vanilla because it played to my inner child. I love Legos, and what is Minecraft but basically just computerized Legos in my eyes.
I totally agree, yes.
I had so much fun just building pretty much everything. And of course, my first build was in a mountain. So, like everybody, they escape and hide the mountain, but then that turned into the Dwarven Halls, as basically as I called it, because I had just everything. I loved it. And then got into 1.4.7, still vanilla at the time. It really wasn't until late 1.47 that I got into mods, and it was Direwolf 20 was the one that I watched and was like, ooh, what is all this stuff that he's doing?
Right.
And between him and BOO and Generic B, Minecraft team, playing the FTB at the time. And that's how I got introduced to the FTB launcher at the same time. So it went from there, and actually modded Minecraft is where I met Brandon on a non-whitelisted server.
And it was love since then, right?
It's been over 2 years now.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty good relationship. I'm just giving you guys a hard time. Okay, so I think it's time to switch over to Q&A from chat. So it takes them about 20 seconds to catch up. So we're going to go ahead and open up to Q&A. By the way, I've met Generic B, and probably one of the greatest people that I've met in person. Absolutely humorous guy, humble person, and great person. I don't know if you guys have met him, but he's a great guy.
No, I would like to, and I've sent him a few messages because I'll be honest, I thought what I do for my mod pack would be perfect for his play style.
Right.
So, but I've never actually been able to talk to him or meet him. I did see a question quite a while ago, if you don't mind me answering that.
Go right ahead,
person.
yes, please.
It was fine. Mr. Computer Ghost. He was asking about Shelob's Lair. Yes, we're toying with the idea of a custom spider boss.
A custom spider boss. That's awesome. Okay. So can you make a portable power storage and call it Draconic Ego? So can you make portable Draconic storage? Okay.
Yeah, I already have portable storage. I have my own version of the flux capacitors, and the Draconic tier can hold 250 million RF.
Nice. Okay. So Tom wants to know can we expect Computercraft to work with Draconic Evolution?
Yes, I have plans for Computercraft integration with the core and maybe some other things.
And how about, my question would be, is there any idea to do integration, or has it been done, with Ender IO, where the Ender IO power monitor could possibly interface with it?
No, I haven't actually thought about that, but it might be worth looking into.
All right. Okay. Yes, we're doing okay.
Well, I also want to put out there, you mentioned way back when about just the sheer volume of power.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been a running joke between Brandon and I, because we did a lot of work towards, not deliberately, but killing servers, because there was no such thing as big enough.
Right, okay.
We had an MFR farm that pretty much made the area we lived unlivable because of all the lag. So a lot of that kind of mentality has gone into the mod pack, but we've spent loads of time, the two of us, arguing back and forth on what we should do and how powerful, and That's been the fun part with us.
So is there any thought to make power generation, or are you okay with relying on other mods to make power generation?
I was hoping you were going to ask that. So, I have mentioned on the forum a couple of times and a few other places, I do have plans for power generation that is going to be coming in version 1.0.2. I haven't entirely worked out what I'm building yet, but it's going to match the scale of the energy core.
Oh, that is epic. That is absolutely epic. And then the next stage to that question would be, are you going to have something that's totally endgame that uses that power, like a planet cracker or something that can like mine 10% of the world at once or something along those lines?
Still trying to think of something good, but that sounds like an interesting idea.
Maybe you can shoot a laser to the moon and mine the moon or something, you know?
That sounds about up Brandon's line, too, for that kind of OP.
You know, or you could do it with Galactic Craft where you could have it mine the entire planet of Mars or something like that, or, you know.
I could so see that happening.
I don't think anyone has a big enough AE system.
Well, I guess we'll just have to come up with some way to make it bigger.
Give me time. Give me time. Do either one of you stream?
I do not. I just barely got into doing YouTube videos.
The Great Bevo would like to know, will open computers work also then? That was the question that was asked right after Computer Craft was asked.
Work to do what exactly?
That's a good question. So Bevo, they want to know work to do what? It was the question that was followed up, okay? Okay, we can do tool parts now. Are you aware that Extra Tinker's construct has Draconium and Awakened Draconium tool parts now?
I can actually answer that one. Yes.
Yes, I am, and...
All right, what do you guys know about that?
Go ahead, Brandon.
Now you go ahead.
Oh, no, I actually approached the author of Extra TIC when he first announced that he had integrated Botania, and specifically requested that he added Draconic Evolution integration. So I'm glad that he went with that to add it.
Okay. So do we know what it adds to the tools? What does it do for the tools?
I haven't had a chance to check the modifiers, but I know that now you can make Tinker's tools out of both Draconium and Awakened Draconium.
Right. Okay. And okay. Oh, are you also aware that this means it is now registered as a liquid, and which means Mistcraft ages full of it?
Oh, I'm going to have to nerf the hell out of that.
Well, you know, the thing is this, is the way that I look at it is I wouldn't. And I'll tell you why. The people that like to play with RF tools and Mistcraft and stuff like that are the type of people that don't care. And I don't really think that it matters. They're not the type of people that worry about game progression, end game, beginning game. They're the type of people that just want to go out there and basically get all the stuff that they want within day one and then be overpowered for the rest of the game. So honestly, I wouldn't worry about it.
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for more questions. If you guys see questions, just start answering them, okay? So if you see one we haven't done yet, just go ahead and answer it.
Well, I can see one that was about the 5 enchantments. Really, okay. Do you need more than 5 enchantments on any item?
That's a good question. On
That's
armor...
also a point of balance.
A point of balance? Okay, gotcha. Okay. I guess I'll go on. Okay.
And I can only fit 5 slots in the GUI.
Oh, only 5 slots in the GUI? Okay.
Yeah, Brandon would have most likely added 10 if he could have.
What other things are built into Draconic Evolution for balance? I mean, it is I wouldn't call it an overpowered mod because it's really end game. So I don't really call it that overpowered. But what are some things that you did add in besides rarity of ores for balance?
Mostly just the recipes, and yeah, pretty much just it's all balanced through the recipes being extremely hard.
Okay. All right. Or extremely resource intensive and stuff like that, right?
Oh yes. Have you ever tried to make the
Yeah,
Awakened
and having
Draconic
to
stuff?
use the Dragon Heart.
Yeah, I've gone so far as to spawn dragons and get more draconium, and I've got the staff, I've got the bow, I've got the full armor, I've got the full ball, all of that stuff. So my question is, okay, had you intended for people to beat the Wither enough times to get that many Nether stars, or had you always planned that there would be Wither farms and stuff like that? What was that thinking?
Uh, well, however you get the Nether stars, it doesn't really matter. I know a lot of people use Wither farms, but I guess you could just kill the Wither a bunch of times manually.
Right. Okay. Are there any Easter eggs currently in Draconic Evolution?
Not at this time.
Do you have any ideas or plans to put some in?
One thing I'm going to add is I have a lot of friends that have helped me out with this mod, and there is actually something hidden in there for a good friend of mine on LolNet that I'm not going to say what it is or how to get it, but there is a secret thing in there with his name on it if you can find it. I'll give you a hint, you can't find it unless you use a cheaty way. But yeah, I'm actually planning to add a set of items for all my friends. They're not going to be like any functional items, but more like, well, I know some mods add things for their Patreons and things, so it's going to be something kind of like that.
Okay, that would be awesome. Okay. Okay.
Now, as far as the question about the textures, a lot of them in the beginning I did, which is why they're kind of high res, because I just like that look, and we couldn't find anybody that really could help us with textures except for the tools and armor, the tools and the weapons, which was Hachiseiko, I think is how it's pronounced, from over at BD Craft, made those for us. But pretty much a lot of like the machine textures and the early block textures, I did that for him.
Wesley Pesley, there already is a book in the game that you can make to walk you through Draconic Evolution. That's one of the best parts of the mod itself, is they have a book built in to guide you through everything you need to know. Whose idea was that?
Speaking of the book, I noticed you're using a older version. In one of the later versions, it's actually got a complete rewrite, so it looks a lot fancier now.
Oh, awesome.
And that was my idea. I just wanted something that allowed you to... Because earlier on we set up a wiki, but kind of annoying to maintain a wiki with all the information. I just wanted something in my workspace so that I could just code in all the documentation. And that's what I came up with, based on what some other mods have done.
Yeah, he did not want an actual book. That's why it's a tablet.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. It's absolutely awesome. Any idea to add it so that we can pump energy in and out through the pylons themselves, through the things that shoot the laser into the ball? Is there any idea to do that?
You mean the stabilizers? Or the particle generators?
No, yeah. So, like, you have the blocks that stick, that you have, I call them pylons. They're the ones that shoot the laser into the ball, that actually make them, you have to right-click on them to energize the ball and make it work,
Yeah, you had to be confused there, because the energy pylons are called pylons, and they're what you already use to inject energy. But no, they're mostly there to look like they're kind of supporting the core and holding it in place.
Okay. All right. Let's see if there's any more here.
Okay, so a couple of questions I saw. I know we mentioned it briefly, but how did Brandon and I meet? Literally, it was on a server called Trek Ultimate. Just random, both of us started playing on there. I was in my own base, he was in his, and we tended to be online at the same time more than anybody else. And it just, there was, from my perspective, there was a synergy. We had a lot of the same tastes, and he liked the high tech. He was the one that wanted to make big, complicated machine automated setups, and I was the one that wanted to build the stuff to hide it so it looked good. And it just went from there, and like I said, we've been friends for over 2 years now, and that server's been defunct for almost a year and a half now. And then as far as the tameable, breedable dragon, I concur. I've been trying to work on that myself.
I thought that there was a tameable dragon in Sky Factory. I'm pretty sure that one of the things that you can, in the book on Sky Factory, is tame and ride a dragon. I believe that that's already something that's in Sky Factory.
Well, I don't know with Sky Factory. I know that there is a mod called I can't. It just left me. But there is a mod specifically that allows you to tame and breed dragons. Okay. But to actually have a pet, like you would say, like a horse or something like that. That's what I want.
Yeah, Bevo says that there's more creatures has tameable
dragon
dragons.
mounts, right?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. It left my brain for a second, but yes, dragon mounts.
Dragon mounts. Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right, I think that we're pretty much wrapping up on the questions. Do you guys see any more in there that you want to jump in and answer?
That's what I'm kind of scanning through real quick.
Yeah.
So I mentioned about the high-res textures. I know a lot of people don't like them, and there are a couple people who have offered to create lower-res textures, so I'm still waiting to hear back from them. The reason for the high-res textures in the first place was because GreatOrator did all of my textures, right? But he's not so good with the lower-res textures. He mostly uses big high-res 512 images, and then I scale them down as much as possible, but you can only scale down a high-res image so far. So that's basically where the high-resolution textures come from.
What is your favorite ice cream? That's a good question.
Mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip. Brandon?
That's a good question too, yes. My favorite ice cream would have to be, well, ice cream.
I totally agree.
Good answer.
Good answer. I also like this one from Blankenstein. He says, is there anything in Draconic Evolution that people overlook?
That is a good question, because it's hard to think of anything. But there are a lot of little things that... I know a lot of people often overlook the placeable items. How you can actually place an item in world for a display or storage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also the Draconic hoe. Nobody seems to really think about that.
Oh, my wife is all over that hoe. Yeah, she loves that thing. Okay. Drock reiterated a question that somebody asked earlier. What are some plans, or have you, or would you like to do involving collaboration or integration with other mods?
Well, it already integrates with COFH using the RF API. Mm-hmm. There is plans for, as I mentioned, computer craft for the core. Haven't really thought about anything else though.
Oh, don't forget you added Thaumcraft integration.
Oh yes, the Draconic helmet now acts as goggles revealing.
Ooh, that's awesome. And that, I'm sure that that's you can turn it on and turn it off, right?
No, it's always on, although that's not a bad idea.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I want you to thank you so much for coming. Feel free to come hang out in here in our community whenever you want to. You're more than welcome to come on this TeamSpeak whenever you want to. Use it. Stop by. You're more than welcome on our VIP server. All you have to do is ask for the information. It's usually running some version of Karma, and we do usually community functions on it and stuff like that. We have a big thing for the Operation Supply Drop coming up that we're going to be doing on that server. We post each and every mod interview on my YouTube channel, so if you guys want to go take a look at that and send some links to it and stuff to have people come and take a look at this. And you know what? It's been a great time, and thank you so very much for being here.
It's been a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having us.
Anytime. You know, I think this is one of the interviews that I look forward to very much because I love your mod so much, and it's just so freaking cool. So thank you so much, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and move you down to the lobby, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved.
All right, guys, that was Brandon3055 and the GreatOrator from Draconic Evolution. Okay, absolutely freaking awesome time, awesome people. It was great talking to them. I'm sure that they can probably type some answers that we didn't maybe get to into the channel if they want to, and all that fun stuff. And wow, what a great bunch of guys. It was a lot of fun talking to them and stuff like that, you guys. So let's go ahead and pop back over to playing a little bit of Minecraft here. Actually, to tell you guys the truth, oh, yes. Yes, thank you for freaking reminding me of that, baby. Wow. You know what? That is an awesome thing. I want to talk to you guys about the next interview. And it actually fits with this really well. Do you guys want to know who's next up on the Great Mod interview and when it's going to be? When did you guys have a clue? Do you guys want to know? I want to know if you want to know what you want to know when you want to know. Oh, man. All right, let's see it. Come on. You guys want thumbs up? Thumbs up from Shadow Snore. Who's next? Yes. Okay, you guys want to know, huh? Next interview will be on Wednesday, May 6th. And one thing that I'm completely missing is